Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for viewing my video. In this video I'm going to give my reading wrap up for the week of June 23 through June 29. I didn't complete any books this week, so I won't have any reviews. I'm going to talk about the 4 books that I read part of this week. I'm going to talk about the one new book I got this week. Going to do an unboxing of the Belle Book Box that I recently received. I'm going to talk about reading fandoms a little bit. I'm going to talk about the Wooble I'm currently working on. The book that I read most this week is Sea People, The Puzzle of Polynesia by Christina Thompson. A little over halfway through this book. The author details the early explorations by Western explorers of the Polynesian islands, and as time passes how various people, scientists and other people, trying to determine how the Polynesian islands were populated. There's difficulty here because the Polynesian groups, the Polynesian people on the islands, they only had oral history. They didn't have any written history. And also the way their mythology, their living, everything was intertwined, and it was hard to reconcile that for the Western scientists and people who were trying to determine how the islands were populated. The other thing is too, the Western, many of the Western people, explorers, whatever, they brought their own biases into the question of this. I'm enjoying the book, but struggle a little bit because there's a lot of islands, and there's part of the Polynesian islands, and there's also surrounding them other islands, and it's really hard for me to keep track of all the names, but I am enjoying the book. The second book I read some of this week is Fourth Wing by Yarros. I'm around 90 pages in, and I am quite enjoying it. There are some issues I have with the writing style and some of the world building, but overall I am enjoying the book, and I look forward to completing it. The third book I read some of this week is Nancy Drew Diaries number 25, What Stays in Vegas by Carolyn Keene. Anybody who reads Nancy Drew books knows that Carolyn Keene is just a pen name that every writer contractually has to be called that when they write a book. I'm not too far into it. It's a pretty good story. These stories they're maybe about 100 pages and perhaps a little formulaic, but I do enjoy them. Give me a break from the more serious stuff that I read. The final book I read some of this week is Seoulmates by Susan Lee. I actually had an appointment for my car at the dealership to get some work done, and they found some stuff when they were doing an inspection, so it's good that I had this. I did read a fair amount. I'm about halfway through now. I'm quite enjoying it. It's about there's a boy and a girl that they were really good friends, but when the boy was around 15, he and his family went to South Korea to a funeral, and he was spotted by a talent agent, and they invited him to join a idol school, which is where they train idols. They do it in South Korea and Japan too. The girl that was his friend was really upset that he left like that, and there's some communication issues. It talks some about the entertainment. He became a star in a K-drama, but he's back visiting her, staying with her family. So it's what I'd say, friends to enemies to friends again, and I probably know where it's going to go, but I am quite enjoying the book. Recently, a couple of videos I saw by Justin at TriumphalReads, he talked about several books that talked about the Olympics in ancient Greece, and also some of the other games too that took place around the same time. And that was kind of intriguing to me, especially with the Summer Olympics coming up. I believe they start the end of July. So one of the books particularly intrigued me, and that book is The Crown Games of Ancient Greece, Archaeology, Athletes and Heroes by David Lunt. It wasn't available on Libby or Hoopla, so I got it on Barnes & Noble. I haven't started it yet, but I am looking forward to reading it, and I will certainly read it before the Olympics. And it's a very good time to get a book of this nature. I'm going to unbox the first Belle Book Box that I got as part of my subscription. I mentioned this on a previous video, but I've seen a video by Lacey at LaceyBooklovers where she talked about special edition books she had. She mentioned some of the book boxes she subscribed to. In her description of the video, this was one of them, and I clicked on the link there, got on a wait list, and it was maybe 2 or 3 months. I wish I had tracked how long. It wasn't too long before I got an email that I had 24 hours to subscribe, and the subscription I chose was a year one. They come out every 2 months. It's kind of a bit of a gamble because I'm buying it somewhat blind. I didn't look into it too much. I know it's a romance book box. I'm going to unbox it now. I was going to unbox it on a separate video, but because this video I don't have too much to say because I have no books to review, I figure I'll unbox it here. And we'll see what it looks like inside. Okay, this is just, there is, looks like some little stickers, and the book is shrink wrapped, nothing else in the box. Okay, kind of wrapped nicely. It's actually 2 books that I didn't know. Really, The Obsession by Nikki Sloane, and The Initiation by Nikki Sloane, and some nice edges. So I wasn't really expecting 2 books. I probably should look at the emails closer, but try to read these books soon. They don't look like they're too long. The covers are quite nice on these. So I'll try to read these soon and give my reviews of them. But anyways, that's my first book box. And I also got a subscription to another one called the Arcane Society. But the first one hasn't come in that one. Next, I just want to talk a little bit about book fandoms. I saw a recent video by Cari at Cari Can Read. She's one of the first booktubers I ever followed. I also follow other channel where she talks about her experiences living in South Korea. But in this particular video, she was talking about the books that influenced her growing up. She was born in '91, which makes her 32 or 33 this year. And what I found interesting was something that I hadn't thought of before, but she talked about various fandoms she's part of. There's a lot of books she talked about, some I was familiar with, many I wasn't. Talked about being part of the Twilight fandom, being part of the fandom for the Hunger Games series. Talked about dystopia books. What I found interesting is it made me realize that I've never actually been part of a book fandom. I've read a lot of books, but by fandom I mean that like I would talk to other people about the books, maybe go to signings, things like that. Mainly discuss them with other people. I've certainly been in fandoms for musical groups, singers, been in fandoms for sports teams, but it was kind of interesting. I realized I've never actually been in a fandom for a book group. So that was kind of a revelation for me. Finally, I want to talk about the Wooble I'm currently working on. It is Tank the Shark. Here's the package so you can see what Tank the Shark's supposed to look like when I'm done. So far what I've done is I have the body completed, the eyes, the fins, and I have the dorsal fin completed, which just will go up here. I have to attach it. Then I have to do the tail here and attach it. This is a beginner plus. It's the second one, beginner plus one I've done, so it does present some challenges. But I don't have too much left to go. I may or may not complete it today. If I do complete it today, I will include a photo or a couple of photos of the completed one. But it's possible I won't because I still have a bit more work to do here. I'd be interested to know how your reading week went. If you read any really good books, you'd like to share that information in the comments. Or even if you read some books you'd like to warn people against. I'm interested in seeing that too. I have to finish the Sea People book this week, so I'll have at least one review next week. And maybe more. Maybe I can finish Fourth Wing or Seoulmates. Hopefully I'll at least have one review next week. If you enjoyed this video, please like, please subscribe. Please hit the bell to be notified when I upload future videos. Hope you have a wonderful day.